Okay, so hello everybody, my name is William. Alright, today's video is called What is the App Store Accountability Act? Okay. Now, the App Store Accountability Act, well, it's agification on the App Store, if you want to know that. It's already a law in Texas, and I think some other states too. I don't know which other states have App Store Accountability Act as law. If I type it, okay, so I already know about Texas. Okay, Utah. So Utah first passed it in March of last year. And then Texas passed it in May of last year. And then in Louisiana, they passed it in in Louisiana, they passed it in June of last year. And in Alabama, they passed it in February of this year. Oh yeah, and I know the state of California has the Digital Age Assurance Act, which is attestation on device level. And yes, the App Store is part of the, the App Store is part of that too. But you know, the Digital Assurance Act is attestation on device level, and I already talked about that. You know, and it's already law in Colorado and Illinois. I know the one in New York died, so that's why. So we got 4 states. And then California has the Digital Age Assurance Act. I know that's attestation device level, but and then they have it at Colorado and Illinois now. Well, they were going to pass it in New York, but it died. Will they will pass it again? Will they try to pass it again in New York? Probably. Next year? I believe, probably. I believe so. Keep an eye on that. Anyway. But that's attestation at device level. At the App Store Accountability Act is, well, is agification on the App Store. Alright? So that's what you know anyway. So, I want to show you. So what is the App Store Accountability Act? Well, it's agification in the App Store. Look, you know that's why. They think it restores parental authority, and they think it requires anonymized age data. They think it will protect our right quality care and closes dangerous rules, and they think it will also balance safety and privacy. But no. You're thinking, right? That's what they say. You can also read it right here if you want to. But here's the key concerns. It requires agification for everyone. It can expand personal data collection and misses the real problem. It can shift, it just shifts power away from parents. It can build surveillance infrastructure and protects corporations, not kids. Right. It can create dangerous. It can create a dangerous persistent, and it does create a forced choice. So, right here it says to verify age, platforms must collect identity data. The data does not disappear after verification. it gets stored with developers and absorbed into some commercial structure that privatizates since bit of reform. The bill does not shrink the data collection from expand the government and mandate attached. Well, that's what happens if they don't ask for a repeal. It can expand. The organizations are pushing the App Store Accountability Act present themselves as advocates. The funding coalition membership, a different story. The Digital Tribunal Alliance, the primary coalition behind this legislation, counts members of the Survey Foundation, the American Principles Project, the Family Policy Alliance, and the Institute of Family Studies. These are non-grassroots or private organizations. This established privacy ethnic groups with their own ministry of agendas. The coalition includes dozens of anti-human trafficking and organizations that joined in city concerns. Right here, you can see it requires education to expand data collection of everyone, including new privacy and security risk. That's what it says right there. So the App Store Accountability Act fails children because it addresses the wrong problem. Children are not harmed by the App Store download process. They are harmed by what happens inside apps. By underlying design and by this engagement over well-being of surveillance access to dangerous content, and by platforms monitoring data. The App Store Accountability Act does nothing to address any of that. What it does, it creates government-mandated identity verification system, and that requires hundreds of millions of adults to submit personal data to access apps, and they already use legally. This is not child safety. This is a surveillance structure with a child safety label on it. Yeah, that's what it is. The App Store Accountability Act. So it's already law in 4 states already. And we also have a federal one too. That's why. And I know my state. I know that my state, California, has age station at device level. Now, some people believe that that California's one is just age station device level. Some people think it's going to be worse. Some people think it's worse than the App Store Accountability Act. Well, first of all, the App Store Accountability Act is ageification in the App Store. California's one, which is the Data Age Assurance Act, that's age station device level. It's not, you know, there's no ID needed on California's age station on device level law. No, it's just your birth date you have to put in there. No, it's just you just have to put only your birth date and that's it. You just have to input your birth date, and yeah, that's it. You're verified. Yeah, that's and we just call age station, not age verification. I know it's still wrong. It's stupid. I know it's very useless. You know, that's why. There's no ID needed, and it's also law, and now it's also law in Colorado and Illinois. Okay, and I know that's why. And I already talked about that. That's why. Now we talk about the App Store Accountability Act, which is a law in Texas, Utah, Louisiana, and also Alabama. And Alabama is where Ken Hovind lives. You know that's why. And now we're having as a federal bill in the U.S. too. You know, yeah. Well, the U.S. Federal App Store Accountability Act is H.R. 3149. And we talked about that. That's why. Already called Norman Torres for a no vote on that. Because I don't want it. You know. I hate the App Store Accountability Act. You know, why do I want to upload just a copy of my ID just to download apps from the App Store and also install them too. You know, that's stupid. I don't want that. And I know what they're doing. Look. Because I see. Look, uploading your ID to use a weather app and a calculator app, a Bible app, or a language learning app. You know, why? Do you want to upload a copy of ID on the language learning app so you can just learn Spanish or Mandarin or any other language? That's just, I know, that's just stupid anyway. Look, so let's say you want to learn another language, and now the language learning app is asking for your ID. Yeah, that's so stupid. I don't want that. That would make me angry. If I have to use my ID just to download and install an app, that makes me, I'm not happy doing that. Even if I'm doing it, I'm not happy doing it. I'm angry that I have to do it. Because I want to download apps freely. You know what I mean? Not upload a copy of my ID and then use it. That's just stupid. So, and then look, it's not just me. It's getting everybody to do it. And look, and they're just going to. Look, and there's many people are going to be refusing to do it. That's why. That's why. Am I going to refuse to do it? Well, no, but I'm going to have to do it anyway. But guess what? I'm not going to be happy while doing it. I'm going to be angry doing it. You know, I'm not happy blowing my ID just to download apps. That's just so stupid. So, yeah. So yeah, we need to get rid of the App Store Accountability Act in the U.S. Hopefully, because it will expand to other countries pretty soon too, and that's the problem. The App Store Accountability Act, it won't just be law in the U.S. Other countries will want the App Store Accountability Act, and that's why. So. That's why we need to get it. If your state is having it as law, the best they can do is ask for a repeal, and do what you can to get it repealed. You might have to Here's what you can do if you want to get your law repealed. If you want to get the App Store accountability, if you want to get a law repealed, I'll show you. You might have to fill out something too. You know, politicians. Yeah, no. You might have to you might have to fill it out. Oh yeah, you might have to. Let me see. Where's Mitchell Rodriguez's website? Because I want to show her. I want to show you her website, and that's why. Yeah. You might have to tell your representatives to. They might even tell you have to fill this out. And they might have to tell you might have to fill this out for your so they can you might have to fill this out to create a repeal bill, and that's why. I'm just showing you my representative has got anyway. It will probably look different from this, but I'm just showing you anyway. This is Michelle Rodriguez, this one anyway. But you might, yeah. So you might have to fill this out if you're asking for a repeal. They might ask you to fill this out, and That's why. So they can. But that's when they might ask you. That's when the might ask you, because that's what Michelle Rodriguez has been asking me. That's why. And they might ask you to fill this out, and then they can do the bill for. They can do the repeal bill for you. In your state. That's why. But you know, yeah, you might your local representative might tell you that. That's why, because Michelle Rodriguez has been telling that to me, and I asked Susan Rubio the same thing too. So that's why. You know, just saying. You know, I'm falling for. Rafael Rubio is my next assembly member in this November. I don't know if she will win this November because I don't have an answer. That's why. We'll see. Well, I don't know if I can trust Michelle Rodriguez anymore. Anyway, that's okay anyway. I'll vote for Rafael Rubio instead anyway. Because I don't know. I don't know if I want to trust a Democrat lawmaker any longer. That's why. So it's okay. I'll vote for a Republican one and see what happens. I don't have an answer for everything, but yeah, right there. But on the Federal Abstract Accountability Act, which is H.R. 449, yeah, you might have to call your federal representative in Congress and ask for a no vote on that stupid unconstitutional bill, the Abstract Accountability Act. We don't want it. It's just stupid anyway. You know, look, having to upload your ID just to download and install apps. That's just stupid. Okay? We don't want that. And what's the next one? Kids Online Safety Act, or KOSA. Well, we can talk about that. We can talk about that again. Alright, talk about it. I guess we can talk about it again next video anyway. Yeah. But yeah. Tell your representatives to reject the Abstract Accountability Act. We don't want it. It's stupid. Anyway, and I'll talk about KOSA again next video anyway. Because I have to go right now. But thank you for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Say goodbye. Adios and Zai Chan.